Hello everyone, and welcome to ReZort. This is a custom zombies map made by Carabella and zEcstasy, and is based off of the Black Ops 2 campaign mission Karma, which we have featured recently in the channel here on the series Outside, an absolutely amazing mission that takes place on a floating resort. And now, we get to see it as a zombies map, created with some spaces that match the original as well as others that are reimagined, and plenty of hidden details and things to find outside of the map. And today, I'll be joined by one of its developers, zEcstasy, who will be following me as I explore the map and giving us an insight on its development, something that I have always wanted to do. So thank you to all of its developers, and as always, links are in the description if you want to download the map. But without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing we'll see as we spawn into the map is a very familiar room, at least to those who played the Black Ops 2 campaign. You can look out of the balcony and see the entire courtyard below you, much of it being playable space. This is basically a one-to-one recreation of that lobby area of Colossus. Fantastic job, by the way. It looks great.
The only thing different, this is actually the same fountain model from Black Ops 2, but the foliage around it's a little different. And also the floors, it's not exactly the same pattern, but it's similar. Yeah, originally this was going to be a spawn, but I think it still is. But there used to be a window here.
Oh, okay. So then you just tore it down and were like, why not walking it?
Well, this was the other guy when he was doing the final touches on it, because I had planned for it to be kind of like this, not have a rebuildable barrier, but where they just climb over.
Is there anything else that's changed since Carabella got his hands on his greedy little fingers on this?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Maybe some extra detail added in here and there, but as far as layout goes, this is pretty much how I designed it.
Carabella unfortunately couldn't make it to this recording session, but he did help out a lot with some of the information, and you'll see that throughout the video. He was the one that was responsible for producing the final map, taking the work that zEcstasy did and putting it together with his. And with the development being split between two people like this, of course there ends up being some times where there's a bit of miscommunication. For instance, out of this first window, where there is a ton of detail, and it looks like it could have been playable space at one point.
Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure how much of the room was going to be used, so I pretty much detailed this whole room as if it were playable space.
Were you originally planning on making this the cutoff right here, where like where the welcome sign is, and this being the spawn room?
Yeah, when he first told me about the idea about doing this as the spawn room, I thought that's where the zombies would come from, and then this would be blocked off, but we ended up changing it to what it is now.
Is there a reason why you did that, or was it just kind of like, make the spawn room a little smaller?
Yeah, pretty much.
And immediately, the first thing you're supposed to be doing here is taking the elevator, it looks like, to the next area onward. But I noticed if you no clip on out and you take a look on back, we're just in a floating cube, which looks insane from the outside. And then we got the elevator just chilling here down below. Did you work on the elevator at all? Do you have any knowledge as to how it works?
I didn't do anything with the elevator, but I know that it's here because in the actual mission, when you take the elevator, you can see the whole resort as you go down, and it's set up the same way in this. So when you go down the elevator, you do see basically the same view you see in the campaign mission.
That is awesome. So that was the reason. So it was like, we want to put the elevator in the map just so we can still have that moment. Which, about that whole elevator thing, I noticed if we go directly underneath spawn, all the way underneath the map, in fact, I think so much so that we're outside of the sun volume, everything will turn white. We can see a massive tower here underneath the map. I imagine this is the thing that ends up replacing the exterior, I suppose, of the spawn room. And I guess we'll take a look at that in just a moment, zEcstasy, as well. Because you said you were not responsible for this, so you didn't actually know about this?
Yeah, no, that's news to me.
And here is what the spawn area looks like after going through the elevator. That massive tower just comes on up from outside the map and covers the spawn area that we were once in. And it is sort of strange. You can see out of it just fine, but you'll realize that there's some things here that definitely don't line up. So I imagine you're not able to come back here, probably, after going down the elevator?
Yeah, no, once you leave the spawn, that's it. You can't come back here.
And then I also notice as well, if instead of going down, we go up instead. I don't know if you had anything to do with this, but there seems to be some things just chilling up here.
This wasn't part of my prefab, but it has existed in the map for the earliest test build that I played. I'm not totally sure what its purpose was, but it's been here for a long time.
I do imagine that this area was probably the like it even has the little window location that they give you when you first make a Black Ops 3 custom map. This was probably the first thing in the map, and it's kind of cool to see that it's just chilling here still. All right, so I suppose it's time. Let's go ahead and take the elevator on down. Man, look at that view. Yo, Ecstasy, how much do you think it would cost to stay the night here?
More than you make in a year.
Oh, God. So immediately after being brought down the elevator, we're in what feels like, honestly, a completely new spawn room in a lot of ways. You know, same kind of deal where it's just a window location, small area, and oh my God, some crazy effects going on. Did we just lose power? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's cool. Oh, and this is that the perk?
Yeah, that is. So all the perk machines in this map are modeled over that model.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that has something to do with that model being above spawn.
This area that we're in now has one window location, one door that we can leave out of, and some elevators at the back, which is where I found Ecstasy.
I am in an elevator.
Oh my God. What's going on in there?
Oh, not much.
Oh, fair enough.
Thing.
Just a nice look at, I imagine, what is the teleporter box, essentially? Well, it's a teleporter tunnel. So you went the IW route here. Were you responsible for doing this?
No, I didn't do this. No, this is interesting.
Oh my God, it's so trippy. I love that you can walk through it, too. It has collision.
Oh, there's an Easter egg here. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can see it on the wall. I don't know what it is, actually. But Odysseus. Oh, that's for one of the Easter egg steps. That's what it is.
Has the Easter egg been found yet?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we're not spoiling too much there for sure.
No, because I also did this room, and he added that afterwards.
Gotcha. So he was in control of things like the Easter egg and...
Yeah, he did all the scripting. I just did basically some of the mapping.
So, as you just heard, Ecstasy was responsible for the geometry in a lot of this map, mapping out these playable spaces, as well as many, of course, that you can't play in. He made a large amount of the interior space on this map, and was responsible for them from top to bottom, while Carabella was working on the Easter egg and different scripts that were needed for the map, as well as, not to mention, crafting most of this courtyard area. But now it is time to start moving through the map, and in this next room we'll find what seems like some sort of security room, a power switch, and some pretty cool hidden secrets hidden outside of its windows. So inside of here, I noticed a few things in my walkthrough, one of them being the computer screen right here, which definitely has the logo for one of the Black Ops 2, the early Black Ops 2 missions, I believe. I think that's actually, is that the first mission of Black Ops 2?
First, yeah. It used to be like the Black Ops 2 main menu.
Oh, okay.
It's been changed for the Easter egg, I believe. I think this is part of the Easter egg.
I also noticed, though, outside of this map, to the left here, there is a whole bunch of pictures here on the wall. In fact, it is definitely every single mission from the Black Ops 2 campaign. So I would imagine this has to do with the Easter egg as well?
Yeah, so actually, now that you show me this, I'm almost 100% sure that the screen in that room indicates which step of the Easter egg you're up to, because the Easter egg steps are all named after missions in Black Ops 2.
Oh, that would be why that one was called Odysseus. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, so as you progress, it changes the screen to match whichever mission step you're on.
So the Odysseus Easter egg was something that was somewhat late then, probably. If this is actually in order from right to left, it's the third to last step, I guess. This is an extremely cool way to number your Easter egg steps, following the missions of the Black Ops 2 campaign in sort of a tribute to the thing that this map is representing. But on top of the main Easter egg quest, there's also some really cool custom features that this map has. One of them being this mystery box that's in this same window location.
So it's tied to the screen here. So if you buy the box, you actually buy it here, and you can see what you got on the screen.
That is so cool. So how do you get the gun? Do you get it from the computer as well?
Yeah, you just press F on the computer to grab it.
That is such a cool idea. How far along in development was that implemented? Like when did you decide, I'm going to throw a mystery box outside of the map and then make it on the computer screen?
It's been in the map for pretty early on. It was one of the first builds, I would say, was in there.
So it seems that here in Carmen Resort, there are a lot of Easter eggs. Not to mention the main Easter egg, that in itself is quite elaborate, but there's also multiple side Easter eggs as well, scattered around the map. Whoa. What was that? Dude, you just had a perk bottle fly on me. What was
Oh,
that about?
okay, yeah. There's like 5, if I'm not mistaken, golden perk bottles, and you have to collect them all. And then once you do, you can access an arcade machine in the arcade in the plaza that gives you infinite perk slots.
I also noticed the Skrillex CDs. I imagine that's the musical Easter egg for the map.
Yeah, so it's actually the same music as what's in the club in Black Ops 2, even down to the slow-mo sections. Like, if you remember the mission, it slows down the time and you do stuff in slow-mo to the music. That actually is implemented in this as well.
That's wild. So you guys quite literally took that exact audio file straight out of Black Ops 2. But moving forward now, we enter a hallway leading down towards a dance floor. Chill part.
This hallway he did. I didn't do this part.
Oh, okay. So you weren't responsible for animating these
No.
zombies behind the wall? Yeah, because in the original Karma, these were just dancers there behind the wall as whiteout models, and now we got a whiteout zombie here, just chilling behind, using the same exact technique, I suppose.
I had assumed he used an image. I didn't know he actually did the model thing too. That's cool.
I wonder if he did the animation for this.
I want to say there must be an animation he ripped.
Because alternatively, the thing that this immediately reminds me of is the Black Ops 1 menu screen. When you switch to zombies and you see Hudson just start banging on the glass. And I'm just wondering, I don't know if it is. I'm just wondering, could this be that animation? Because it looks a lot like it. Well, as it turns out, I was exactly right. I messaged Carabella shortly after recording this, and he said that is indeed the exact animation from Black Ops 1. And in fact, it's not only the animation, it is also Hudson's model. It's very hard to recognize with the texture that's been applied to him, but you can see his tie there dangling from his shirt, just like it does from his character model in Black Ops 1. But now we're moving forward into the dance floor itself, which has a relatively large play space here in the middle and 2 out-of-bounds sections to the right and the left.
So originally this was all playable space. This was meant to be like you'd be able to run up here and jump down this little breakaway.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah, once I sent it over to him, he kind of made it into a zombie spawn. One of the iterations, he had blocked it off. So when I got it back from him that time, I went ahead and added the ramp, made it into a zombie spawn, basically.
And how far along in development are decisions like that being made?
Probably about halfway through the whole project. That's kind of why that hallway is as detailed as it is, because I wasn't sure how close the player would actually be able to get to it.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, because there's like a martini glass here, for instance, on the table, and there's debris on the ground all the way back to the end.
And I added the lights, like, I don't know if you noticed, but in a lot of Treyarch maps and the barriers, they add a light shining down so that when the zombie comes through, it makes all the shadows on the walls like this.
And they do spawn back here, I'd imagine, still, right?
Yep. Yeah, they do. They spawn in this corner here.
Was this playable space as well then, up over here, or no?
Originally, yeah, but this got cut around the same time as the other half. I don't know if this is a interesting fact or not, but the stars is actually a solid texture.
Oh,
so
and
you can run around
you can get above it as well. Yeah. Oh, this is awesome.
And
that
the same
looks
thing
wild.
With each of these rings here, the orange rings.
This is an effect that has been used many times by Treyarch and other studios as well. In fact, I think there's even one in Karma. But it is insanely cool to actually be able to walk on top of this. And it gives you a pretty crazy effect looking down at the dance floor. But that is it for this section of the map, and now it's time to move forward. So the way forward is back here, to the staff-only door?
Yeah.
Very much so different than the original Karma, for sure.
This floor is restricted to authorized personnel only.
I think we should leave, dude.
Strike team, sweep the dance floor, try to find biometric ID bands.
Oh, okay. So we can't open this door yet. We need an ID band level. And I imagine that's chilling here somewhere.
There's a few different spots for it to spawn, but it's always going to be in the club or in the hallway before it.
I guess we'll go ahead and snag that real quick. And here we are, stepping on into yet another nightclub. One that is very much so different than Black Ops 2. So, and you made this, right?
Yeah.
So, what was your inspiration for this one? Because the one that we were in before was very much so like a reimagining of the original nightclub, while this one is completely different.
So actually, it was kind of a miscommunication. We both ended up working on the club, and his vision was to have like a one-to-one, a more close to Black Ops 2's nightclub, and I kind of just went freestyle. And then he had basically just done the layout of the other one. When I sent him over this one, he's like, well, I thought I was supposed to be doing the nightclub, and I ended up finishing his off for him, and then just using this one as kind of another area that connects to it.
So this was basically a mistake, this nightclub.
Yeah, pretty much.
I gotta say, it's a pretty damn cool mistake. Because this nightclub has a whole lot of atmosphere going on with it.
Yeah, we didn't want to waste, because I put a significant amount of time into it, so we didn't want to waste development time and just scrap the whole thing, so we ended up just keeping it as another area.
To me, this is a really cool look into the development of the map. Essentially, there were two different versions of the nightclub under construction at the same time. One that is very similar to what we saw in Black Ops 2, and another one that looks almost completely different. As zEcstasy said, I suppose it was just a miscommunication. And since this place, after all, is a massive resort, it does sort of make sense that there would be multiple nightclubs here. So instead of completely getting rid of someone's work, they decided to add both versions here in the map. And in this one, although the playable space is somewhat small, there are some pretty cool little Easter eggs that you can find within it.
If you look on the walls, all these records that have names under them, these are all the people that got high scores in Karma Arcade, the beta that we did a while back.
That's awesome. So these are high score winners for the beta map.
I believe it's the top 10. So there's 10 gold ones, and then there's a purple one here. The reason for that one is because I believe his entry was late, but we wanted to include it as an honorable mention.
Well, there you are, Fat Fish. You've made it into the nightclub. But finally, it's time to escape Club Solar, and now we're in what seems like the mall area, I suppose, of Black Ops 2 Karma, recreated and reimagined for a zombies map. This area has a ton of details scattered about, as well as another restricted area, leading to a permanent Pack-a-Punch location.
I wanted to show you that there was a dev trick secret over here. If you look through the bars back there, you see the stairs. That is just a 2D image of them all.
Oh my god.
Oh. The floor is not solid.
Okay, there's no floor.
Okay, right. I made the stairs, but the hall below it is a mall picture. And when I designed this, I expected this whole hallway up to here to be playable. That's why I put like the wall like I did. But when he got it, he cut it off over here. Even from here, you can't really tell it's 2D. It looks good.
And I completely agree with zEcstasy. This trick of using a 2D texture to back an area outside of the map is something that's used quite often by Treyarch developers as well. And in fact, even in the campaign mission Karma, this is used in the elevator section, where Harper bumps into Chloe. Did you know this area was going to be the Pack-a-Punch location beforehand, or was this just something you were working on and ended up happening secondhand?
I knew it was going to be kind of like a bonus area. I didn't know exactly what that meant, so I guess it makes sense that Pack-a-Punch is here. But yeah, I didn't have a clear idea. I just knew it was going to be a bonus section. Yeah, for instance, this was actually planned to be, when I made it, I planned this to be a window location. As you can see back there with the orange light, the zombies were going to come from that door. But then he ended up just putting Pack-a-Punch in front of the door instead.
Damn, closed out the Galaxy sushi shop here. And immediately when you enter this area to the left, there's a very strange looking door here that has, well, I suppose an interesting texture on it. Is there anything going on here?
In the early stages, I was kind of planning a zombie spawn here, but ended up cutting it pretty early.
Yeah, I could see why that would get cut. There is very little space between these two walls. Hopping on forward to the next area of the map, there is something through this window location that, well, I guess it's a window location. I suppose I should ask that first. I would imagine so,
yeah,
right?
they do spawn here, yeah.
Yeah, because inside of here and to the left, there is wooden boards just chilling here. Like, this is the area that the zombies are supposed to come from. So what's the story with this area?
So I mapped this building as playable space, but we ended up not using any of it really. So this is where I imagined a barrier being, and I guess it just kind of ended up being left over.
So that's really unfortunate. I mean, this is definitely a really cool area, but I suppose at the same time, it's sort of going towards a dead end, so maybe that's why it was cut?
Well, when I did the area originally, this section wasn't cut off, so I imagined that the player would be, able to run to the door here, but he ended up doing the jump pads instead and cutting this area off, so it kind of makes sense that you can't access there.
Now it is time to leave the mall. and enter the expansive courtyard here on Karma Resort, fit with some of the best lighting I've seen in a custom zombies map, and a lot of little secrets to find. So you said you mainly worked on the interior of the map, right? So is this the end of what you worked on? Where does that exactly cut off?
I did do some of the out-of-bounds space out here. I didn't do any of the playable area for the courtyard, but I did do some of the out-of-bounds. This building here that I'm following, I did this. Same on this side, I did the walls. And this little area that I'm not entirely sure what I meant for it to be, but it's detail. I actually did this, but it was originally a pool when I did it, and it just had this thing on top, and this was a pool. So he redid it and made it into a bar. Fun fact, I didn't know he was going to add like these light bars on the walls, so I figured it needed some lighting, so I put those light models, and those stayed, but the beams they were attached to did not. So now there's just floating lights.
See, I would have never noticed that, actually.
And I don't think anybody ever has, because all the videos I watched, nobody points it out or anything. But it annoys me because I know it's there.
Understandable. I mean, it looks kind of like they're just like jutting out the wall. Now that you point it out, though, and you get like right up close to it and look at it, it definitely seems a bit foreign for sure.
I did this area as well, and I wasn't sure how much you would see from inside the map, so I detailed it quite a bit, but you don't actually really see any of it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, because most of the map goes the other direction, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I suppose this sort of just got lost in the development cycle, I suppose.
Yeah.
Still a really cool little area, though.
And I had planned for the zombies to come over the bridge, and I'm not sure that they do. The bridge is not solid.
Oh, that would make sense.
Although over here, it kind of looks like they might.
Did you do any of this stuff?
Nope, he added this.
Okay. Yeah, because I noticed
Cool.
there's Nick Cage chilling. We got Nicolas Cage picture chilling back here. As well as
Yeah.
Kipu, which, is that one of his maps?
It's not one of his maps for sure, unless it's an upcoming one that I didn't know about.
Oh, maybe that's an Easter egg to the future. We might have just exposed something here, Ecstasy. According to Carabella, Kipu is actually a person, someone who helped him work on the map. And I suppose he played a small role in the map's construction, and this is a remnants of his work. And I guess he hasn't been online for 4 months, so hope he's doing alright. And this goes to show that even though there were only 2 main developers on this map, there are a bunch of people's work that go into make custom zombies maps like this. And another really cool thing to see in custom zombies maps like this is reference to the map maker's other maps, which I found one of these in the dance floor where we were before, a little book with an image on it of the map Carnival that I originally knew Ecstasy from. So for things like this little Easter egg, like how far through the development of this room does something like that get placed around?
That's kind of like final touches sort of thing. That stack of papers actually exists in the elevator room, the lobby area when we come down the elevator, and that stack has been there for a long time. But as far as that stack goes, that was the final touch. Actually, that was Carabella that did that. I didn't even do that.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
that's a really interesting thing to think about. See, I would have never thought that.
Yeah, and there's actually 2 more map references inside of this map for our other maps. So the other Carnival reference is here, and this one was my idea.
Awesome. What a great map that is. Links will be down in the description, by the way, fellas, if, you're feeling like playing some custom zombies tonight.
So this is his other map, Nowie, the one that came out before this one.
Oh, okay. I love that. It's actually like a little animated video, too. That's
Yeah.
crazy. There is a huge amount of detail to this courtyard area, and I really recommend you guys playing the map to check it out. But before we wrap things up here in the courtyard, there are a few things that Ecstasy would like to show us.
If you stand right here, this is actually terminal.
This area, which was made by Carabella, is hidden outside of the map just by one of the mystery box locations. And although it's hard to notice at first glance, this is terminal. On the right side, we have some strange-looking structure representing the elevator shafts, and a massive Widow's wine machine as well. Let's not forget about that. The stairs here in the middle being the ones that you would run up to get towards Burger Town, and on the left, we even have a ladder, an oversized one at that, representing the area that every single trick shotter in Modern Warfare 2 tried to use. I personally think a touch like this is insanely cool to include on a map. It's passion like this that makes custom zombies really special. But now it's time to take a trip underneath the map and see the many hidden secrets under here, rooms, and little Easter eggs scattered about. There are a ton of them, some of which are extremely recognizable. And suddenly, we find ourselves in Kino der Toten. You want to talk about this just a little bit?
Yeah, so originally this was kind of a different project altogether that we were planning to do, and we just never really finished it. So it ended up being kind of an Easter egg section in this map.
Yeah, because I'm noticing there's a lot of weird things, like this fence being much shorter than normal. Is that a little remnants of that old project?
Yeah, so basically the map was supposed to be a miniature version of Kino, so everything is kind of scaled down a little bit.
You still got the window location here and everything. That's nice.
Yeah, and this was actually the area I did as well, and I really tried to keep it 1-to-1 as much as possible.
This is an insanely cool thing to have chilling outside of your map. And it is essentially the viable ending to the map as well. After reaching round 35, you are able to access this area, and completing it ends the game. It's comprised of an alleyway section that we all know and love from Kino der Toten, created by zEcstasy himself, as well as a very scaled down interior made by Carabella. Ooh,
There is section here.
Oh my.
This is much more mini than my section.
I see this. This looks tiny, dude. We even got the
Yeah.
tiny writing on the wall. Tiny window location. So was this going to be part of the playable area? Like, were you going to make the entire map of Kino just miniature?
Yeah, that was the plan.
Damn. That would have been sick. Oh, there's even the spawn room here. Can you get here in the map normally, or is this just completely inaccessible?
I don't know. I haven't actually done the Easter egg. Well, like, I haven't actually tried the machine to teleport me here. But clearly my scale was not what he had in mind. My area is much larger.
This looks really cool, though. So this is an area that Sabella did. Is there the stage? No. Nope, stage is completely gone. This truly has to be one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a custom zombies map. It would be one thing if it was a map all on its own, but the fact that it's literally just an Easter egg for this one, and has the story of being an unfinished project of a miniature Kino, this is really, really cool. It even has a miniature quick revive machine. Look at that. As far as I can tell, considering you can see right outside the map in this miniature area, this part of Kino is not accessible inside of Karma ReZort. But nevertheless, with a little bit of no clip, you can see it all, and I have to say, this is absolutely awesome. So props to the developers for this one. But this is not even close to the only thing hidden underneath the map of Karma ReZort. There are plenty more rooms out there and things to take a look at, so let's go ahead and continue. One of them being this area right here that is very dark and has a lot of fog in it. Do you know what this is?
I have no idea what this is.
Same. So at least we're in the same boat for that. It looks like some kind of like futuristic building in some ways, at least with some of the modeling here, but it's very like, well, ominous to say the least.
Whoa, there's a dude.
There's a
was
dude?
sketchy.
Oh my god.
Dude's having a bad day.
Dude, what happened to you, man?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
I feel like we're not supposed to be here. I feel like this isn't... I imagine... My original thought was this would be another one of those arcade machines, right? But,
Yeah, I thought it was like an Easter egg step maybe, and you teleport and have to survive here for a bit, because there is like kind of like window locations.
yeah, I mean, it might have... It might be the case that it was going to be, but with there being just this crazy-looking model right here...
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
I've asked Carabella about this area, and he says that apparently this is for the second Easter egg step on the map, one where you are a zombie, and the screen looks very different from what it looks like here, just no clipping through it in the map. This very distorted character model is used as a spawner. After the player is teleported here, it disappears, and you have to complete the Easter egg step to continue. But now onto an area with a very distinct design. Oh, yo, we're in the Dark Aether all of a sudden. So we got some Dark Aether jellyfish, straight out of Cold War almost. Also a statue in the distance. Is that Tachio just chilling? I think that's Tachio.
Yeah, I do believe so.
And after asking Carabella, it turns out this Dark Aether looking area is for a double weapon upgrade, which gives your guns some extremely unique features, similar to how the Mustang and Sally's blow people up. That happens for multiple different weapons in this map. A super cool thing to add, something that I've always wanted Treyarch to add to the game. I feel like sometimes pack-a-punching your gun should change more than the weapon sound and the look of it. Actually changing how the weapon functions is much more important to the player. And this map gives us a look at how that can be done. And for our last hidden room underneath the map, I want to show off this one, which seems to be a holographic recreation of Josefina's bedroom from Black Ops 2.
Yeah, this is
Like a strange
never seen
remake
this
of it.
either.
It's playing the music in my ears right now of that mission. Because right here, there's even the mirror that Menendez looks through.
This is the first time I see this too. This is cool.
So I imagine something Easter egg related then, huh?
Yeah.
I suppose we'll leave this then. And finally, there are some miscellaneous things hidden underneath the map that give us a pretty cool look into how this map functions. Yeah, so I noticed scattered around the outside of this map, there are multiple of these as well. Like, this isn't the only kill streak just chilling. So I would assume that these models are used for when you call in kill streaks in the map, because I noticed that that is also a thing, right?
Yeah. I would believe that's what it's for. I didn't do the scripting for it, but it makes sense that they're stored here until they're needed in the map.
There's just a random, like, missile launcher right here, dude. It says dead on it. Defensive armament. Is this a trap? This looks like a trap. Just chilling right here underneath the courtyard.
Maybe it comes up during an Easter egg step, like comes up to the ground level here.
That would make sense. There is space right there for it, I suppose. And according to Carabella, this is true. The launcher appears after a specific Easter egg step, and when you reach it, you can call it in and shoot down a VTOL that's just hovering around the map. Once again, I want to thank zEcstasy for coming along with me and Carabella for putting the map together. This map has an insane amount of atmosphere and a boatload of custom features, Easter eggs, and of course a main quest as well. Any last remarks to the folks watching at home?
Played the map.
Sick. Link is in the description, fellas. But that is it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, consider leaving a like down below. It helps me out a ton, and of course, make sure you subscribe so you can come back for more. If you want to watch more of my content, you can click one of the videos on your screen right now, but if not, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay awesome, and peace out.